I am Engadget's editor-in-chief, Christopher Trout, and I am here with, I messed up my own name. I am here with Suki Dunham of Oh My Bod, Tone Timmerman of Kiru, and Brian Dunham, Suki's husband and co-founder of Oh My Bod. And we are going to talk about their new products that are here in the South Hall? South Hall. Before we do that, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we just saw, which was an episode of my show Computer Love about cam girls. You guys had a sort of unexpected tie-in with camming with one of your first products. Can you tell us how that came about and what that was?
Yeah, well, basically, the products that we were producing or who we thought our audience were couples and single people looking, obviously, to pleasure themselves. But our very first product was a music-driven vibrator. So it brings in audio and vibrates to whatever that audio is. And what we found is that in the cam market, the performers started to use our product because they could create actually an interactive experience for themselves and therefore basically increase their revenue number by creating this interactivity with the people that were watching their performances. Right.
Now, if you go on to something like Pornhub or other porn sites, you can see models using your devices because they've hooked them up to their computers so that every time a tip comes through, it vibrates, right? And with increasing intensity, which I find just kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, one of the products is called Club Vibe 3.0, and it has a remote control that has a microphone built into it, and it wirelessly sends the ambient signals to the vibrator. So when a tip came through on a computer, it would go ding, 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 and it would transmit those sounds directly to the vibrator. And so the more tips you get, the more the vibrator would run.
An unexpected use case.
Unexpected.
One of the other themes that I explored in that episode was loneliness, right? And this idea of technology kind of driving us farther apart as opposed to bring us closer together. But you guys have always worked very hard in both of your companies to bring couples closer together, to bring people closer together, and allow people to experience intimacy from long distances. And that is what brings us here today. What are we looking at? And can you guys just give us a little jump into what you guys are showing off at CES and how it works?
So we have a partner with a company called Kiru. They're based in the Netherlands. And they're building this really amazing platform that bring together a lot of the interactive toys that are on the market. With their partnership with Fleshlight, they created this automated male masturbator. And the three companies got together almost a couple years ago.
Sorry?
How many years ago did we? Like a year and a half?
Yeah, a year and a half.
And we thought, okay, this would be great. We have three really great brands. Let's see how we can put all these things together. So as they were designing this automated male masturbator, we said, let's jump in on the design process and design a female product that would actually work with the masturbator. So let's give it a little demo.
Yeah, sure.
So what you guys, do you want to talk through while they're showing it off what's going on and what the products are?
Sure. So what Tone has in his hand is actually called the Launch with Fleshlight by Kiru. That's Tone's company. And then the product that it's paired to, the female version, is a dual stim vibrator, and that product is called Fuse. And basically what you're seeing is bidirectional control. So there are sensors built into the female vibrator, and those sensors then, when the person is using that, stroking that product in their body, it's also driving the stroking of the male masturbator. So it's basically brought, remote sex to a new level.
The technology that drives these things has been around for a while. You guys have been some of the few people actually moving into this space. What do you think that's about?
Well, we wanted to bring this, in my opinion, third dimension to the internet. for a while you can see each other online, you can hear each other online, but you cannot feel each other online. Oh My Bot started with that already 8 years ago, around that. And we wanted to bring it to the next level. So we created sort of you can see it as an operating system. Google kind of an Android kind of operating system. What we didn't want to keep that only for ourselves, but to share that with the best companies out there. And in our opinion, OmaBot is one of the best female toy companies out there. Flashlight, the best male toy company out there. And we shared our technology, and we created together awesome interactive sex toys. Virtual reality makes the content so real that your brains, you know, they want to have the confirmation that what you see, that it's real, and with feeling the same movement completely in sync gives you that feeling.
So if one day Google or Amazon sort of thawed their feelings towards sex devices, would you consider putting Google Assistant in a vibrator?
We've actually been talking about that.
Ah!
Alexa, turn up my vibe.
Right?
Yeah, no buttons. Look, Mom, no buttons.
I can't imagine
Let's
a
leave
better...
Mom out of this.
I can't imagine a better use case.
Bad analogy.
I certainly don't want to think about my mom, but, you know, I'm not one to judge. So what is next for Oh My Bod? You guys got anything you can reveal?
We can't tell you.
Of course.
We one of the things that we're doing actually is a couple of years ago here, we launched our Bluetooth-enabled Vibe line called Blue Motion, and that product has an app. And we're just basically revving that app. So we did a complete brand new overhaul to the app and the user interface and its functionality. And so that's kind of what we have going on in Q1 of this year. We're really, really excited about that.
I think most of the stuff we're working on is app kind of geared, right? All of our products are now connected. Now it's about user interface, how easy is it to use. Like in the new app that we just created, you can swipe up from within the chat menu to control the vibrator, and then swipe down so you don't have to go anywhere else. So it's really just focusing on the user experience and making it really, really great.
It sounds like somebody might be using one of your toys next door. It's interesting to think about sex toys in the way that you think about other sort of hardware like smartphones or tablets or computers. We're going to get to a point where these devices, hardware-wise, are sophisticated enough that it really does become about the software, and I think that that's super interesting.
I think that's one of the reasons why in our industry in particular, there haven't been as many people approaching this space, because it is super technical, and at the end of the day, you end up being a software company. So that's a lot different than building a piece of hardware with a vibrator or a motor and a rechargeable battery in it.
There's a couple of cool new stuff coming up. Not only toys, but also partnerships. Like we just launched a partnership with Pornhub, you know, which is the 23rd biggest website in the world based on traffic. Together with them, we also made a couple of new toys. So the Pornhub toys with our technology inside. So, of course, I cannot tell all the details what is coming up, but quite a lot new partnerships on the content side, and also on the toy side, and also new features into the toys and different toys. So yeah, the future is very very bright, as they say, right?
That's great to hear, and thank you guys so much for coming out again. It's always a pleasure to have you.